Hey everybody, this is Ethan with Pursuit, and I would just like to take a moment and talk about why nobody is talking about Tesla's upcoming Q4 earnings report. I think there's a lot of reasons for this, but probably the number one reason that I can tell is nobody wants to be wrong. I've been following Tesla for about a year now, and every time anything happens or is gonna happen, they announce anything, there's like a million people who are posting videos, creating videos, talking about what they think this is gonna mean, what the stock price is gonna do, how this is gonna affect Tesla, how this is gonna affect your neighbors and affect them, and there's just a million people talking about everything that this could possibly mean. But I feel like this upcoming earnings report is going to be the most important one probably that they've ever had, and yet nobody is talking about it, saying anything about it. They say, oh, it could be good, but it's just really like swept under the rug. And I think there's probably a number of reasons for this, but I think the number one reason is probably that nobody wants to be wrong. Tesla has been changing a lot of things. They've opened a new factory. They've started deliveries in China. They're starting deliveries on the Model Y. They are in a hiring frenzy. They are building up new product lines. They have started selling software updates. You can get your car faster. And I think very few people know how profitable or Tesla's going to be. In this last quarter, they delivered, almost 20,000 more cars than the quarter prior. And that quarter was profitable. Actually, surprisingly so. So everybody's like, "Oh, it should be profitable." But yes, they're going to have more revenue. But also, Elon Musk has many times said that profits is not his goal. His goal is to speed up the adoption of electric vehicles. And so when he is trying to open a new gigafactory, he's more than willing, and we all know this, he's more than willing to go into debt, to take out loans, to spend more than he made, to make sure that product line gets up and going fast. And this is not particularly a bad thing for the company, because every time he spends money on something, it's an investment that we see 2, 3, 10 times returns on. But that is going to affect this quarterly report. So the question is, how much did they make this last quarter, and how much did they spend? And I think there's a few things. They delivered more vehicles than ever. They've also saw a significant increase in the number of X's and S's that they delivered, which have higher profit margins. But they also have increased the profit margins on their Model 3. So you're going to see an increased profit in Q4. However, they also started building out not one, but 2 new delivery lines. I think mainly in China, you see as you start to make and deliver cars, it's one thing to build the factory, but the factory is just half of the puzzle. The other half is getting all the parts in and out into the factory. I'm talking about the metals, the batteries, the carpet for the trunk, all of that. You got to build out a new product line, deliver it, and then you have to start delivering the cars. You're talking about new drivers, new trucks to deliver the cars with. You're talking about opening storefronts. You're talking about this massive supply chain that you have to build out. And as Tesla starts delivering cars, they started right before the end of Q4, which means that most of the expenses they use to build that supply chain is probably going to end up in Q4, which will drive down profitability. But they also started selling, you see this in right around Christmas time, you were able to spend, I think it was $2,000 and upgrade your Model 3. And that was it. It was like, that's going to be on 100% profits or close to it for Tesla. And we don't know how that's going to affect it. You also see full self-driving. They're starting to realize some of the profit they've made from that. And with some, we don't know how much money we're getting from full self-driving. We don't know how much money we're getting from software updates. We don't know. So I just see that there's a lot of unknown factors, and you can't do the math if you don't have the numbers. So you see a lot of people being really quiet about what's coming up next week. It's currently Wednesday, 1 week before the quarterly earnings report. But we also see another reason that we could not be getting many people talking about this is Tesla's doing a lot of really exciting things in other regards than just how profitable they will be. We see the Model Y. There's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of sightings, and people saying that they're gonna announce on the Q4 earnings report. They're gonna announce that Model Y deliveries are starting the next day or in the next month, and we also have a bunch of things about when Battery Investor Day is and what we're going to see out of that. Are we going to finally learn about Maxwell Technologies and what deep learning is doing? And there's just a lot of uncertainty, but I think we have a lot of people really, really building their hopes. You see in just this month alone, the stock price has gone from $300 and today it's almost $600 a share. That's almost doubling in under a month. And well, it might have been 400. It's significantly up, and I think that's because people are really, really excited about this earnings report. But I think the stock, you're gonna see a small profit per share, just so Elon Musk can say, "Oh, look, we were profitable." But I don't think it's going to be as high as everybody is hoping. And then there's the question of what will that do? You see that when people expect really high profits and they get marginally good profits, the stock price can crash. But if they're expecting bad profits and you get just a little bad profits, it can skyrocket. So what actually happens with the earnings report, I think, is less important than how people react to it. And that completely has to do with their expectations going into it. We saw this with the Cybertruck. When the Cybertruck was unveiled, it was the most hyped event that Tesla had ever put on. And I think that truck was amazing. But everybody was disappointed. Even though the truck was good, the price was good. We got to see Elon Musk. We did see the window crack. I don't think that was a big important. But we also saw the quad come out. It was an amazing opportunity. But people had their hopes so high that even though they came out with an amazing truck, we still saw people panic and think that it was a fail. And I think we could possibly be seeing the same thing happen here. Everybody's hopes are really, really high. But on the other hand, maybe they're not high enough. Elon Musk is amazing at setting expectations and then blowing them out of the water. People have seen him say, "Oh, we're going to deliver this in 1 year," and it takes him 6. But you also see him say, "Oh, we're going to deliver this product," and people say, "Oh, that'll never happen." But it does. And so I think with full self-driving being so close, feature complete full self-driving being so close, the Model Y being on the brink of deliveries, Tesla Gigafactory, we don't know hardly anything about that. The Battery Investor Day, Maxwell Technologies, deep learning, even Dojo is depending on how much he talks, we could either see massive disappointment spread through a bunch of all these people who follow the stocks and everything so closely that the stock market drops $200 overnight, or we could see people's expectations blown out of the water so much so that it doubles. And I think it's just going into it, you just got to be really, really understand. You really got to understand that whatever happens, it's the same company, and that whatever happens, we are still going to a full electric future where Tesla is the number one car manufacturer in the world. And I think that whether you buy before or after the event, whether you have shares now or you're planning to get shares, I think now is a great time to buy them, because $500, $600 is a great price when you think of the 10-year where this company can be. And I just think that everybody going into this event needs to know not to get their hopes so high, but also that we should just roll with whatever happens and not let disappointment roll in when we don't hear Elon Musk talk about one of these things that we're so excited about. Well, those are all my thoughts for today. You guys have a wonderful day, and thank you for listening.